Here we are, we're out in the beautiful grasslands of Big Sky Country, Montana. We've got an incredible storm that's just whirling around us. And with that, we've got the magic of light performing its dance for us. It is spectacular. Now, the photograph you're looking at, what you can see here is what we experienced making this video. It was spectacular. The problem is the photograph you're looking at is two photographs melded together into one. Why is that? Because the range of light in this scene is greater than what our cameras can capture with one click. Our minds can see 27 stops of light, where the camera can see only 5 stops. To repeat that, camera sees only 5 stops. Beyond that, it starts losing information, either in the highlights or the shadows. So what we're going to do is use this magical tool, this digital camera, and a feature the manufacturers put in here for us so we can not only learn light and see light, but know how to expose correctly to take 2 photographs to meld into one. So with our camera monitor, we're going to make sure that we have gone into the menu and we selected highlight warning. Now, what boring dweeb came up with that term? That's why I call them Blinkies. Much more endearing than highlight warning. What we're going to do is simple. With our highlight warning checked, we're going to turn on the monitor, make sure the word highlight is in the lower right corner if you're using a Nikon camera, and then we're going to look at our image. You'll take it, click, boom, there's your first image. You can see we got the grasses, the mountains, we got our shadow detail, but the clouds look bright. Well, we can't use the monitor as a tool for judging exposure. But with our blinkies turned on, you'll see that all of a sudden the monitor's going to start blinking at you. Black, white, black, white. Well, that black area, that is parts of the photograph where you have no information. 0. 255, paper white. It's gonzo. Now, if that information is not important to what you want to say as a photographer, you don't have to worry about it. But what if it is important? What if it's information that you need to finish your storytelling? How can we get it back? Well, we've talked about exposure compensation, which in this case would not work because we lose our shadow detail. We've talked about a split grad filter, compact exposure. That won't work because the skyline is simply not a straight line. A split grad wouldn't work with it. So we have to take 2 separate photographs, one for our shadow detail, one for our highlight, and then meld them together in post. Well, how do we figure out the exposure for our highlight information? We're going to use these blinkies that are blinking at you because we're going to dial in minus exposure compensation. How much? You keep dialing exposure compensation, and when you first start out, just do it at half-stop clicks, and then look at your monitor. Look at the blinkies. When all the blinkies are gone that are important to you to be gone because you have retained or brought back the information you want in your highlight area, that's your second exposure. So what you end up with is 2 photographs. Your first shows your highlight information. Your second shows your shadow information. And then you're going to take these 2 images and in post meld them together. And in a minute, we get to the Photoshop section, you'll see how I do that.